Hello, Gun Nation. Says I am live. So when y'all see me and can hear me, please let me know. I know we've got a little bit of a delay, but I just want to see if we can catch this. Waiting for it to kick in on my end here. Hopefully it will. How's everyone doing this? Yep, there it goes. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everyone is doing well. 17 is out of commission this evening, so I'm going to do this, but I've got a ton of questions I've been asked, a whole list of them, so we're going to go over those. Hello, Anthony. Hello, Manny. Captain Phil, Rabbi Jesus. I'm not Will Rogers. Ranger. See if I'm missing anybody. I'll keep trying to do a roll call for a little bit till we get everybody on. I wanted to go ahead and start a little earlier. Hope that's okay with y'all. Hello, Shooting with Uncle Dan, Meathead, Art, Cajun Tiger. How are y'all? Redbird. Hello, Redbird. Uh-oh. Got the kissy face for Art. Rabbi's blowing him a kiss. How are y'all doing this evening? I am in good old San Antonio, Texas, in the suite of elaborate. Not really, I'm just joking. All right. Yeah, I tuned in for the Uncle Dan chat and Warthog and Josh Ben Ware. Pretty good for a first chat. Like I said, everybody has growing pains. They were figuring everything out, but it'll definitely get good for them. But I've got a ton of questions. Yep, there's my Kai or my CA. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it right. Snowing in Iowa. Yeah, I think there's snow going at a lot of places. Not here in San Antonio or Texas, but we've been getting some rain. But like I said, I've got a whole ton of questions. I've been writing them down that I get asked, and it was actually asked this evening. A lot of people were texting me and DMing me on Instagram saying, hey, ask this on the chat tonight, ask that on the chat tonight. So I said I would, so I wrote them all down. Wait till some of those people show up because they said they were going to join the chat or come into the chat room. But anything fun and exciting out there that everybody is excited about or not excited about? Any recent guns y'all have seen or anything like that? Any gear that y'all have been excited about? Let me know if there is. One question, and I want this to go around in the chat room, and this is a question I was asked, so I'm going to ask y'all. Is 45 ACP dead? Is 45 ACP dead? So let me know your opinions on that. And yeah, this Second Amendment thing, you know, as far as Virginia and Arizona and all these places they're going after is crazy. We'll talk about that in a minute. I've got that on my list also. The Xeon by IWI. Okay, cool. I guess I haven't checked on that one yet. All right, we've got a couple of people saying no, that 45 is not dead. A couple of people are saying yes, that 45 is dead. And like I said, I was asked my opinion. And here's my opinion. 45, in my eyes, as an older guy, will never be dead. I think 45 is actually a good round. Now, is it as penetrating as a 9mm? Is it as fast as a 9mm? Can you have as much capacity as a 9mm? No. But 45 is still a very, very viable round, I feel. And if you like it, shoot it. If you don't, nobody's making you. But I think it's a very valuable, no, I'm sorry, I guess I shouldn't say that. A very valid round. But not yet. I still carry a Shield 45. Yeah, Shield 45 is a great gun. Hello, Havoc. How are you? We got Ohio Gear Guy. Let's see. Scott is in. Let's see here. I don't want to be shot by one. I don't want to be shot by anything. Art. Oh, okay. Here we go. Art picked up his first 45 Platinum. It's a Para 14 by 45, and I love the feel of it. Yeah, they're great guns. 1911s are fun. I mean, they're accurate. You know, the triggers are awesome. You know, and of course, you don't have to get a 1911 to get a 45, like we just spoke about with the Shield and FNX 45, the CZ97B. I mean, there's all different kinds of platforms. But This is actually, hey, what's up, Pat? How are you? Pistol Pete, MZ. Love the 97B. 97B is an awesome pistol. Let's see here. What are my thoughts on the Wilson? I'm assuming you're saying Wilson Combat. Wilson Combats are awesome guns. I have personally never owned one, but I've shot many. I've got friends who have them. I have a friend who has like 4 of them. Super nice guns, very well made. Um, you know, there's nothing wrong with them at all. Probably the highest end 1911 I've ever had was my Les Baer. I think it was my most expensive 45. And currently, I think I have 4 or 5 45s. I think I have 5, but I still love them. They're great pistols, and I think it's a great caliber. Let's see here. Yeah, they are pricey. They definitely are pricey. I've been asked this too. What is my opinion of 10 millimeter versus 45? Okay, and I'm a lot older than a lot of the people. 10 millimeter was around a long time ago, and then it kind of phased out, and then it came back. So it's kind of had its course where 45 has just kind of stayed. Oh, thank you, Gary. I appreciate it, man. 45 is just been there. It's never, really completely gone down, but it's never gone sky high either, as far as popularity. However, 10 millimeter has dropped and then it's came back up. And, now I think it's on the upswing. However, 10 millimeter is expensive to shoot. If you shoot it in competition, you definitely want to reload. And it does, it's like a hopped up 40 caliber, so, it'll definitely take down what you want it to. So there's no questions about that. And I'm not discrediting that round. I think it's an awesome round. It's just not as practical. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Ohio Gun Gear is asking, let's see here, and I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you very much. Ever think about trying a Noveske or Q setup? Yes, they're actually both really nice. I've played with them. I have shot a Q. No, I didn't. I played with a Q. I have shot a Noveske, but it wasn't the small one. It was the larger one. I can't remember the name of it. It was not mine. Super nice rifles, and like a CQB gun if that's what you want. Now I did buy a Q Trash Panda, and I am putting a lot of the cherry bombs on some of my ARs and stuff like that, in my AR-10. So I'll be shooting the Trash Panda quite a bit. But no, I really like Q products. Noveske, I know they're a higher brand, but I don't have really enough experience with either one of them. But as far as reliability and from what I've heard, I think they're very reputable brand, and I don't think there's anything wrong with them. Rabbi is saying he thinks 40 is making a comeback. I just don't see it making a comeback. I was around, trust me, I used to have, I think at one time I had 10 40 calibers, back at the heyday of it. And then I'll let you in a little secret. I used to do, or I had access to magnetic particle inspection, MPI, which all of your bolts are. Was able to do that in aviation. And I actually took my personal guns, my 40 calibers, and some of my 9s and things like that. And I did MPI, which are magnetical particle inspection test on all of them. And what you do is you take it and you actually put a solvent in it, and has metal in it. And then you can magnetize it. And it will show if you have any surface cracks or anything like that. All of my 9 barrels, I had 0 cracks, nothing. I had 40 calibers that I had maybe 4,000 or 5,000 rounds through them, and they were showing cracks. Now, does that mean that they're going to split or open up? No, that's just surface cracks. So if it's deep enough to show a crack, it will actually stick in there, and I can check it with a black light. And they showed cracks. So right after I did that little test personally myself, and I was an inspector, A&P, Airframe Power Plant, if y'all are familiar with that. After I did that little test on my own to prove it, I got rid of almost every one of my 40 calibers. I sold them off in the heyday when everybody wanted a 40 caliber, so I didn't lose a dime, but I got rid of them. So that's just my personal thing. You know, and yeah, I didn't do YouTube way back then, but that's a test I personally did myself, and I'm not a liar. So there you go. That's why you know, and a lot of people are like, oh, there's crazy recoil on a 40 caliber. There's really not. It is more than a 9, but you know, it's about how you grip it. So that's just my personal opinion. All right, let's get on to Second Amendment. What's going on? I think it's horrible what is happening in Virginia, or what's done. I mean, so far, I know that it has 2 other votes and da 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 da. But if the police and the sheriffs come after people's guns, they are not upholding, you know, our Bill of Rights, our amendments, all that good stuff. They are going against that, and that is what they have sworn not to do. So I'm telling you, if this happens, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be really bad. So if that's what the governor wants, he's an idiot. If anybody wants that, they're idiots. We have the right to bear arms. And like I said, I've said this, y'all have heard this numerous times from me. If the military has it, I want it. If they have a tank, I want a tank. There shouldn't be any of this. They have it and we can't. It's ridiculous. So, you know, that's not my, I'm not for that at all. So yeah, he's lost his damn mind. That is certainly for sure. Let's see here. I got a bunch of questions going through. Let me catch back up. Sold a couple, Ohio Gear saying he got out just in time, sold a couple of his 40s when they were starting to go down at a decent amount. Yeah. And that's the thing. And I'm not discrediting 40. If you love 40, nothing wrong with it. Just shoot what you got. You know, it's just my personal opinion. And I know in competition, a lot of people put, you know, shoot 40s and things like that. A lot of them are bull barrels, so they're made to handle the extra, you know, explosion in the barrel. So, all right, Double B, and this is one of Double B's questions. You can see him in the chat, and he asked, and I want y'all's opinion, a 1911 or a CZ Shadow 2. Which would y'all choose, 1911 or CZ Shadow 2? So I'll wait, and we'll see what kind of replies we get. And this is for Double B. So he's in the chat, so he wants to get y'all's opinions. Yeah, Biden gonna hellfire our asses. Biden is a joke. I mean, he's gonna go sit in an old folks' home. He needs to be put to pasture anyway and go kiss his grandkids in the mouth and all that mess he does. He's a freak. All right, yes, and Rabbi Jesus, you've actually hit it right on the head. You can combine the two, and you can get a DWX. You know, you get the best of both worlds there. Shadow 2. Now you can get a double stack. You know, or basically it would be a 2011 if that's what you wanted. 1911 because you don't have a Shadow 2, double stack, Shadow 2. Man, a lot of Shadow 2s out there. The comparable price 1911 depends on the 1911 brand. For the price, you know, if you're talking about a 1911 in the $1,000 range, you're probably going to be talking about a SIG, you know, something to that effect. Or actually, you know, some of the SIGs are even more expensive. That's what I'm saying. Really good bang for the buck is a Shadow 2. I mean, you get a great pistol for, you know, heck, you can get the Urban Gray one. I even saw one today for $1,099, and that was actually in a retail store or a gun store. I couldn't believe it was that low and it was brand new. Dennis Jones, here you go. I've had this question many times. Buy the SP01 and a quality 1911 for the Shadow 2 price. If you get the SP01, you're talking $700, and you're not going to get a quality 1911 for a Shadow 2 price. You're not going to get both of those. So, Dennis Jones, I've never seen that happen. Your 1911 is going to be severely lower quality 1911. And a lot of people think that they can get the SP01 and then they can make it a Shadow 2. And yes, you can do that. You know, you can doll it up and dress it up and put all the bells and whistles on it. But by the time you do that, you've pretty much, unless you love that frame, the SP01 frame, you know, you're getting into like the CZ Target or the CZ Shadow Target, CZ Shadow Original. You know, you're still talking the same kind of money. If you really love that frame on the SP01, then yeah, you could do that. Harry's Holster is saying the Shadow 2 is a good value. I think for what you get, it is, and it's got the light rail too, so you can hang a light on it if you would like to. Let's see here. Yeah, Scott, I've shot some 1911 Rugers before, and they're not bad. I'm not saying they're horrible guns. They're just not up to, you know, the slide fitment, the finish. Now, if you go to the higher Rugers, you know, like the gosh, what's that special edition they have out right now? It's a competition model. It's really nice. It starts with a K, but it's also not cheap. You know, and a really great gun too that a lot of people don't think about it is a Tanfo Stock 2 or Stock 3. Tanfolio Stock 2s and Stock 3s, and they're limited, are really nice guns, and you can get into those for about $1,100 too. And they're super nice guns. I have the Stock 2, and I love the hard chrome finish. That hard chrome finish is really hard to beat. All right, let's see here. That's the deal. Shadow 2 is the most bang for the buck when it comes to high level or entry pistols. I agree with that. And the Shadow 2, heck, you can even, you know, I've got mine pretty tricked out, and or both of mine, and you can do a lot to them too if you really want them to be even better. But you can only take an SP01 so far, and then you're done. So, all right, let's see here. Harry's Holster. I guess I'm the only FUD. I'd pick a 1911 over Shadow 2. Yeah, and I mean it's whichever you prefer. I'm not saying one is, you know, is for you. Had a CZ at his shop. TSO. Yep, I know that M. Jackson just got a TSO 40 cal, and TSOs are fantastic guns. I mean, I really enjoy mine a lot. They are shooters for sure. You know, and it just depends. You know, and I've even done the 2011 STI versus the TSO and things like that. And for me, in my hand, not someone else's, I find the TSO to be better than the STI 2011, but that's just in my hands. So my hands are not like everyone else's. The safety on the STI just chewed my hand up. I mean, it was bleeding. It was that bad. So, and the TSO, I've never had that issue. And, you know, you can change the grips on the TSO. You can put thinner, you can put wider, you can put what you want on it. Where the STI, you have to change the whole frame. So I would have to go to, like, I think it was a large frame or maybe even an extra large frame. So I'd have to buy a whole nother frame, a whole nother lower. Hello, Parts by Teddy. How are you, sir? Let's see here. 9mm 1911, like the Shadow 2, shoots pretty flat as well. Yeah, I mean, I've shot, you know, I have it's a 439. It was one of the Smith & Wesson's entry to their version of 1911s back in the day. It's a great shooter. Great shooter. Yeah, AODCZ, that's the CZ Custom. Those are really nice pistols. They're very expensive, but they are nice. Let's see here. There's another one I wanted. Yeah, M. Jackson said the TSO ran great in his match. That's awesome, man. Glad you enjoy it. Yeah, Kathleen is, and you're not the only one that stated this. 17 states this all the time. Still haven't gotten over putting down, you know, $1,000 for a pistol. And a lot of people think that way. And if it's not in your budget, don't do it. You know, some people have a lot of inexpensive guns that they kind of never shoot. And I've even said it before, get rid of like a lot of your inexpensive guns that you never shoot and put that money towards a higher end pistol that you might enjoy more. You know, and if that's an option for you, by all means, do it. Or if you choose not to, no big deal. I've even told 17, you know, he might want to get rid of some of his guns and get a Shadow 2, and he keeps saying no. Let's see here. The AO1, yeah. This is actually Havoc saying this. A01 LD is better than a TSO. It depends on what you're going to do with it. You know, like some people really love the TSO. Some people like the A01 LD. You know, they do take different mags. So if you've got like a Shadow 2, the TSO does take a different mag than the Shadow 2. So if you want to load up on TSO mags, you've got those. However, on the A01 LD, if you have the P10F and you've got a lot of those take those mags, P09, P10F mags. So that's an option too. It's just if you want to get into that price range. Some people don't want to jump off into that. So it just depends on what you want to do and what you want to get. And by all means, get what you want, get what you like, get what you want to shoot. Hello, AR guy. How are you? All right. Ed Browns are great guns. I've had a 1911 Ed Brown too. They are fantastic pistols. You know, back in the day, that was a lot of people would get the Ed Browns and the Les Bears, and that was the big comparison on the 1911s back in the day. Les Bears were really kind of hand fit and really kind of hand built back in the day. When I had mine, it came in a really nice walnut case, and you know, it was nice. Now the Les Bears come in a cardboard box, and I think a lot of the lowers are even made in the Philippines, which I'm not saying that's bad. They're just different than they were. I don't know if the Les Bear quality is there now like it used to be back in the day. But Ed Brown, you know, they make super nice stuff. Yeah, and the AOD doesn't come in 40. That's true. I love everyone's replies to 6 favorite gun vids. Glad to see everyone come together. Yeah, we try to do that. Matter of fact, I was flagged in that by Josh Benware, and I apologize to him. I haven't been able to do it yet, but I will do that. I will do that. All right. Big J Shop. Big J Shop is full of Ed Browns. Biggest selection I've ever seen of them. No, not mine. Must be another Big J. Let's see here. Yeah, Bloomberg. God, he's an idiot. Every time he speaks, he's an idiot. All right, more questions real quick. Another question I was asked is the best SHTF pistol, what would I have and why? And I've talked about that before. For SHTF, I would have a Glock, and I have Glocks because you can find mags everywhere. If they were to break during a SHTF, or if something was to go down, everybody's probably going to have parts. I mean, I know people that have boxes of parts. And, you know, you can put a frame, you can move them over to different slides. You can move the slides over to different frames, etc., and get them running again if anything were to happen. So that's what I would pick. Now, is that the best gun in the world? For me, probably not. But I always say, and I've even done videos on it, if you like a particular gun, say it's a CZ P10F, you don't like Glocks, then don't only have one CZ P10, have 2 or 3 P10s. So that way, if it goes down, you're covered and you've got plenty of mags for it. So that would be the choice there also. So plan accordingly. Let's see here. Yeah, someone's talking about the gun jamming up. I don't know which gun they're talking about. Also, another question I've been asked, and y'all might have been asked this too. Have I ever carried 2 guns on my person? Now, you can carry one in a bag like a rifle, but have I ever carried 2 pistols on my person? And the answer is yes, I have. I've carried a full-size pistol at the 4 o'clock, and also inside waistband at the 12 o'clock appendix. And I have carried a left-hand holster with my shield in it. So I've carried 2 guns on my person at one time. People have asked why, and I was with someone else, and I've planned accordingly when I've traveled. I was traveling with a coworker that does not have a gun license. However, if something popped off, I could easily hand him that gun, and it's better to have 2 people on your side than 1 person. So that's why I did it, and there's the answer to that. Let's see here. Yeah, and our EB is saying that he loves STI and never regretted it. Pistol Pete's asking if I've ever carried 3, and yes, that would be an answer. I've carried 2 pistols on my person and a PCC or an AR in a bag. So not on my person, but I have had them. Yep, shooting with Uncle Dan's carried three revolvers at once. Now I did do, and I don't know where it is. It's got to be probably 4 years ago. I did a video, and like I said, I don't watch my own videos, but I did a thing to see how many pistols I could put on me at one time around my waistband and still reach them. And I think it was 6. They were bigger pants and a bigger belt, but I was able to get 6 pistols on and have an unbuttoned shirt hanging down over it, and you couldn't see the pistols. Now, the shirt was big, but I thought it was pretty funny. I don't know if I'd want to walk around with it, but I mean, I can sit down and do all that, but I did it. All right. Okay. Two Willing Nut saying he carries one at the 430 and a J frame in his pocket. That's awesome. Let's see here. Have you ever carried an AR-15 in appendix? No, I haven't. But if somebody could make a holster for like an AR pistol, I'd stick it in there, try to get it in there and stick it under my shirt or something just for kicks and grins. I think that'd be pretty funny. I carry 2 guns every day. PM9 inside waistband and LCP 380 in his pocket. Yeah, and pocket carry is good. The only thing that, depending on if your pants are baggy enough, if you can reach in your pocket and grab your gun quickly, that's great. But if your pants are tight and you can't get the gun out, then why carry it in that pocket? And I know people who wear like the tactical pants where they've got pockets all over the place. And, they carry mags like in their left leg pockets and their pistol in that one pocket and stuff like that. So if you're able to do that, go for it, man. Whatever works for you. All right. Let's see here. Yes, I released a video today, and I was going to go ahead and announce it because I've had so many people asking me about it. The vision, I put out a video that I was having problems with my eyes, and that's been a big question with me. And I did have it checked. You can watch the video. I won't go into detail. But I did want to say the name of it. On the video, I specifically did not say the name of it because I didn't want them to get any negative gun grabber people chasing them around. However, it is Ogletree Eye Care in Flower Mound, Texas. So that is the name of the place, Ogletree Eye Care in Flower Mound, Texas. And they did a fabulous job. There are 3 ladies there that have their LTC, so they have their license to carry. And one of the doctors, not my doctor, but one of the vision doctors has her LTC, and she carries daily also. So I thought that was awesome. I actually took my slide in there with the RMR or with the red dot on it, and I was able to look at it while they were checking me, and they facilitated all that, had no problem with it, were really, really cool people. I got a survey after the fact and gave them a tremendous survey because they were so great about it, and I do have to get 2 pair of glasses. It won't fix my stigmatism 100% by any means because that's just part of my aging eyes. However, it will make them better. It will make the astigmatism better, and it will help with, I can see far away good, but it's not crystal clear. These will actually enhance that and make it better. And I did get a pair of sunglasses fitted with that same prescription. I got a set of Oakleys, and they're going to custom do the lenses for me. So it'll be sunglasses I can use for shooting outdoors, competitions and stuff like that. And then I wear sunglasses every day that y'all can see from my videos. So they got me squared away. The glasses should be ready in about 3 weeks. So I will have those then, and I'll be able to give you a little follow-up once I wear them and see what I think about them and if they really help afterwards. So I'm excited about trying that. Parts by Teddy wears tactical pants every day. In the footsteps of a Navy SEAL. That's pretty funny. Yeah, 2 Willing Nut, no problem, man. Yeah, I told you. Yeah, I was going to say from you, they're not, you're out in Caddo Mills. That's not real close. So let's see here. It's actually a great question. I've been asked this too. Would you carry a CO2 powered Smith & Wesson M&P Pepperball handgun if you went into a gun-free zone? Logan, no, I wouldn't carry a CO2 gun. I think you know where I'm going with this, but no, I wouldn't carry a pepperball gun. I've seen the pepperball guns and I know that they work. However, sometimes I can't read. We'll just leave it at that. Appreciate the question though. No, those all that those signs do is invite wolves to the hen house. That's all they do. Think about where the bad guys go. They go to the gun-free zones. So there should be no gun-free zones. Do you have a position you consider a no-go? Mine is, let's see here. Do you have a position you consider a no-go? Mine is right hand inside waistband at the 330 to 6 position. You know, I've carried at the 430. I don't really like the 3. I don't like it. The 6 o'clock is definitely a no because you've got your spine back there. If you were knocked backwards or got in a scuffle, you could damage your own spine. So I would not carry at the 6 o'clock. Personally, I know I've seen people do it. I just wouldn't do it. Plus, that exposes your gun too far around you for if someone's standing behind you and they bump into you, know you have a gun. I mean, they could probably grab it before you do. So I want to be in control of my firearm. But, you know, people and their situations are different. So I say carry where it's comfortable for you and you have control of your firearm. Astigmatism and bifocals give me trouble with my aging eyes and working with my eye doctor too. Good. Yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, if you are going to shoot dots or if you're going to, you know, do something in your profession that is going to require it, you might want to take the item that you're specifically using, such a red dot or something maybe you're working, you know, that you have to use at work. Take that into your eye doctor also and let them, you know, test you with that item. I was the first one that's ever taken a dot and a slide into them. But they understood why I wanted to do it and they wanted to help. So that's one reason. I mean, I don't think I'll ever go to another eye doctor. They were incredible. They spent all the time with me and answered every question I have. So I thought that was really good. Let's see here. This is a good question. Keith Gregory is asking, Big J, do you ever carry a revolver? Back in the day, this was a long time ago. I'd probably say it was probably 15 years ago. I did carry a revolver. It was and I still have, I mean, y'all don't, I've said this before, but I have 3 revolvers. I just don't ever shoot them. I shot them a lot way back in the day. I just don't shoot them. I've got a 357. I got 2 38s. They are all Smith & Wesson. One is a 38 special with a bobbed. It's actually kind of a custom one. It's got a nice trigger in it, things like that. And I carried the bob where they bobbed the hammer off. It's a special, you know, it's the hammerless, so no snag points. And then I've got the old school with the hook hammer. And, you know, they're great revolvers. They shoot great. They're still in time. There's nothing wrong with them. I just really don't enjoy revolvers. Honestly, there's nothing against them. I mean, if you shoot them and you love them, that's awesome. I just, you know, the grips, unless I carry the 357 with the big monster grip on it, the other ones are just too small for my hands. They're not comfortable for me personally. And I'm not really going to carry like a big, you know, Ruger or what is it? The, you know, P01 or P100 or G100. I'm sorry. It's a Ruger G100. I'm not going to carry that or, you know, some big old huge revolver when I can carry a smaller pistol with more rounds. So that's just kind of the way I look at it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with revolvers, though. If that's what you're into. Now, for fun, you know, I think they're cool. And if I had a revolver or if I was going to shoot a lot of, I mean, I have revolvers, but if I was going to shoot a lot of revolvers, it would probably be something a little more modern. Now, one that I really love, but it's so expensive, is the Korth. I think the Korths are awesome. I mean, they are awesome. That's a good question, though. Yeah, GP100. That's right, Kathleen. Thank you. That's a good question too. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, do you still carry a Shield? I actually have the Shield 9mm and I still have my Shield 45. I think they're both great guns. They're small, so I would use them as a backup gun. I have carried the Shield 9mm. The last time I carried it was probably about 5 or 6 months ago. And I carried it. I had to dress differently, and so I had to wear a different type of gun. And that's the gun that worked the best with what I had to wear. So let's just say that. So that's probably the last time I carried it. And I think I shot it. It was probably before that. I did a bunch of testing with it. I can still shoot it. Both of them really good. I've got a video where I was testing some mag extensions from X-Tac Tactical, and they're awesome +2s. I really like them a lot. And I was putting up some really good groups with it. I think I was shooting like 10 and 15 yards with it, and there were some really nice groups for a small pistol. What do I think of the micro pistol movement? I think the micro pistols are actually very good pistols for a lot of people. Me personally, here's the problem I have with them. If you've been following me, you know this, but I'll say it because a lot of people ask me this. I wear a XX glove, so I have a huge hand. So when I have a little tiny pistol at the 12 o'clock position in appendix, and I go to grab it real quick, like just to do like even dry fire, I can miss it. I can miss the grip because it's so small. So that's why I prefer compact or full-size guns, even at the appendix. And people ask what I carry. I carry big guns, usually with comps and things like that. So, and I've got one here, but I can't show it on a live stream. So that is my problem with compact or micro pistols. For me, they're not perfect, and no gun's perfect, but I mean, they're just not optimal for me. For a lot of people, they're perfectly fine, and there's no issues with them. That's the only thing that I've found from just dry firing and grabbing my compact. I grab it every time. With small grips, I've missed them. So, yeah, AR guy, I'm 6'3". So he's asking how tall I am. Yes, and I have bear paws. They're big. So, but yeah, and that's another thing for small guns, like in the summertime, if you're wearing like swim trunks or something like that, yeah, man, go for it. The Shield's awesome. Or, small guns. Nothing wrong with those at all. It's just if I could have a bigger gun, that's what I like. And I think, being a bigger person too, I've had people say, I'm a smaller guy, I can't wear a big gun. I know a guy that is 5'8" and weighs probably $150 or maybe $160. He's skinny. He carries a freaking full size Glock 34 at the appendix. So, it can be done. And he has no problems with it. I guess it's just with the way you're built and things like that. A lot of things come into play, and also what you're comfortable with too. He's been shooting that gun forever. So, and yes, Kathleen, you're exactly right. A lot of micro pistols, for some people are way too snappy. Now, what I find with a micro pistol, another problem that I have is when my hand is out there and my left thumb is going down the barrel, I've actually had my thumb longer than most barrels. So, it could just be a blast. I'm just going to get the blast, outward. So it's probably not going to bust my thumb open, but, if I can keep from that, I'm going to, or try to. Someone's asking here. What is this here? Well, they are bringing in the Metabuzz. Again, would you buy one of those, Big Johnson? Scott, I'm not familiar with I don't even know how to say that. Is it Metabuzz? I'm not familiar with that, unless it's just, I don't know. If you want to explain what it is, or maybe it's, I'm just not familiar with the name, but I know what the gun is. Yeah, I highly recommend Apex triggers. So I really, yes, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not Will Rogers. His dress work requires, the thin profile of a shield. Yeah, and I know plenty of people that wear a lot of business attire, and I would recommend a small pistol. I know people, personal friends, that carry guns on their person every day that have had to sign a thing saying they couldn't carry a gun at their workplace. So they dress accordingly, and they wear the proper gun to not let it show no matter what. So that's definitely, sometimes that's what you have to do. Clearance, FN 509 compact. Yeah, they're great guns. I have the FNS 9 and I have the FN 509 full size, and I love them. They're fantastic guns. Matter of fact, they're even better with an Apex trigger. So if you put the Apex trigger in it, you're going to love it. I've got plenty of videos of me shooting mine, and I love it. Great guns. Fantastic guns. Matter of fact, my FN that I have now, the full size, the 509, it's got the Apex fluted barrel. It's got a Legion Precision comp. It's got the Holosun 507C. I've even bought the tactical mags. That thing is dressed out like crazy. It's got the Apex trigger in it. It is a phenomenal gun. Clarence is asking, who installs your trigger? I'm not sure which trigger you're talking about. I've installed some of them. If it's the Apex 509, I attempted to do it myself, and I bent 2 punches, snap-on punches. I broke one and bent two trying to do it, but they're really specialty punches. So I took it to 1911 Builders, and he changed it out for me and did a fantastic job. But again, he's a gunsmith. He knows exactly what he's doing. And he had the proper punches for the pistols, which mine were a little longer. So it's a give point on a punch if you're familiar with punches. I just didn't think they would be that tight, but they were that tight. So in my FN 509 and my FNS, they now both have the Apex trigger in them. Yes, I've heard of people carrying 380s on their ankles, and even I've heard of people carrying revolvers on their ankles. I personally, I'm not a big ankle carry guy. I wear boots every day. I did have some boots that were made for me back in the day, and I actually had a holster sewn in the side of the boot, just a small holster, and I used to carry a small pistol in the boot, but I don't have those. I don't have people sew those in my boots anymore. Yeah, Tyler, yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people carry the gun that I'm carrying right now that I've got here. It equals the length of a Glock 34. It is a P10C with a comp. I believe it equals the 34. But I know, like, my 509 with the full comp, and I carried the CZ-P09 with the full comp on it. I appendix carry it a bunch too, and it's longer than a Glock 34. So it's just what you feel comfortable with carrying. And also drive sometimes 5 and 6 hours, if not longer. So, I just get used to it, and it doesn't bother me. You can't appendix carry. A lot of people tell me, well, I've tried appendix carry, and I'm like, how long did you try it? And they're like, oh man, I tried it for a couple of hours and I just couldn't do it. And I'm like, you got to try it longer than a couple of hours. So, oh, there you go. That's awesome, Keith. Yeah. Keith's saying his local gun shop puts Apex triggers in for free if you buy the trigger from them, and that's really awesome. Ultex 6 revolver. I'm not, Scott, I'm not familiar with that. I haven't heard of that. Ohio Gear Guy. are you going to get the Holosun 509T when it comes out? I am going to look at it. I definitely am interested in it. A lot of the Holosuns I'm interested in with the battery trays and stuff. And that was another question I had written down here. Right now, I've got 13 dots on pistols, just pistols. So I've got 13 dots, and every one of them I bought before the green and the yellow, which could actually help with my stigmatism. So the green and the yellow, I'm not opposed to trying it. They just didn't have those out when I bought all of mine. So, am I going to look at them and see if I like them better, or if the green or the yellow works better for me? Yes, by all means, I'm going to try that. But they weren't available. So that's why I have all the red ones. But I'm definitely interested in the 509. I think it's going to be a really great option. The price point, I think, is like $498 or $478 or something. But it does take a different cut. So it's not the RMR cut, but supposedly they're going to have, I guess, a plate available for it. But it's a little more similar to the Acro. So I don't have any Acro cuts, but no, I'm definitely interested in it. I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah, M&P, I've put the Apex in my M&Ps before. Not every one of them. I think one of them I had a buddy of mine do it. That is a gunsmith, just because it was convenient. Oh, it's the 509. Tyler's saying it's already on Amazon. I didn't know that. On their site, you can go on their site and it shows it. I just haven't seen any for sale yet. But then again, I haven't really been looking. All right. Another thing that I have coming, and I will be picking it up tomorrow. If you follow me on Instagram, I have been hinting this a lot. And it is from Vulcan Machine Works. And I have something really special that they are doing for me. I'm really excited about it. So I have another custom gun that no one knows what it is. And they've had it and I came up with a design on it. And he really blew it out of the water. And I'm extremely excited about it. I think y'all will like it too, but it's something out of the ordinary. So if you follow me on Instagram, I've left hints. Matter of fact, I even put one up today. So it is done. So I will be picking it up tomorrow. I will be doing a unveiling video on Friday. So be looking for it, but it's pretty damn awesome. So I think this is going to blow a lot of people away. And, I'm not doing it to blow people away. I'm customizing my guns for me, but I hope you like it. Let's just put it that way. But it's very unique. I promise you probably haven't seen one like it. And it's pretty damn awesome. So let's see here. Okay, since Apex doesn't make a trigger for the CZ P10S, what trigger do you prefer for the P10S? I'm looking at HBI. HBI does make very good gear. I've got their trigger in my Scorpion. I really like it. Honestly, I don't personally have any problems with the CZ P10C trigger or the P10F. I've got two P10Cs and I've got one P10F. And I actually really kind of like the factory trigger. I have not owned an HBI trigger in a P10, but I have shot one. And honestly, and maybe I'm just kind of muted to it, I didn't really notice a big difference personally. But the trigger shoe is a little different, has a little bit different feel. But is it enough? Did it really change the whole aspect of the gun like an Apex does on an M&P or a Glock or something to that effect? I don't think it's that drastic. So is the money worth it? It could be to you, but to me, I like the factory P10 triggers personally. And again, when you get a lot of wear on them and you shoot them a lot, they actually get better. A lot of people just take them right out of the box and they're like, but I actually think they have a really nice reset. They got a little bit of creep in them and stuff, but as you shoot it more, for one, you get used to it. And for another one, it works in. It's a mechanical thing, so it has to kind of work in. But it's not going to be a 1911 trigger right out of the box, so don't expect that. Good night, Tyler, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, on your trigger, I would shoot it more. I don't know how many rounds you have through it. You might list it on the chat here. But the more I shot mine, I mean, all of my CZP-10 triggers have tons of rounds through them. I mean, I'm not talking just 100. They've got 1,000, I mean, or more. So they've got a bunch of rounds through them, and I don't have any problems with them. So you might need to shoot it more. I know on my this P10C that I have here with the comp, and I'm not joking around, it has probably 2,000 rounds through it right now. My P10F has more than that. My other P10C, my original one, probably has more than that. So, and I don't have any problems with them. So, and I really do like the resets. Yeah, Dennis is saying his P10C trigger's gotten better and better. Yeah, I've been asked this too. Big J, thoughts on the Ruger 5.7? I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome if that's what you're looking for. I've personally only had the FN 5.7. I had it for back when it first came out. I thought it was a great gun. However, the ammo was $50 a box, so it wasn't cheap. And I kept it for a while, and I don't even know how many rounds I put through it. It probably wasn't that many because the damn ammo was so expensive. But now you can get American Eagle for like 20 bucks a box. So I think it's more of a viable option. A lot of people will compare it to a 22 Magnum, but it's a centerfire cartridge, so it is much more reliable than a 22. Is it devastating? No, I don't think so. I mean, to shoot it, it's like shooting a 22. The recoil is awesome. The racking of the slide is awesome. If you have any kind of arthritic problems or anything like that, I think it's a very valid gun. And also to have 20 plus one round, 21 rounds total in the pipe, I think it's, a good option. And plus with the price point being so much lower on the Ruger, I think that's a really nice thing. And I actually like the control setup on the Ruger better than I did the FN. So I say grab it. I say grab it up. Hey, Dave Gatz, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button if you are liking this. And like I said, 17 is just out this evening, so he'll come back. Don't bother counting rounds. Oh, okay. 300 to 500 rounds. Yeah, you need to shoot it more. It'll definitely break in. So 1,500 rounds with the factory trigger before we got that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, RAB. Yeah, they were having a good time. 270, good round. I installed the CGW trigger on my P10 myself. Yeah. Positive reset. I have two P07s and two P09s, and Roman's asking this. I like Cajun Gun Works. Their parts are nice and things like that. On the P07, since it's the Omega trigger, you can order just the spring kit. You can go to Cajun Gun Works and you can order just their hammer spring and what is the other one? I think it might be their slides or their other spring. It comes with a 2-spring kit, and it'll actually even make the P07, P09 even better. Do you need to put a $250 Pro kit in it? I've shot it with the Pro kit. It was not my gun, but I actually even did a video on it. I shot the exact same groups with my stock P07 with no springs changed as I did the P07 that had the total Pro package in it. It was the exact same groups from the exact same distance in the exact same ammo. So I couldn't tell the difference. But then again, I'm really used to a P07 and a P09. So maybe that was just me. Your mileage may vary. So I don't want to say that it wouldn't help you. I just couldn't see spending $250 on it and only get a little advantage. And it does shorten the trigger, makes the reset better. The double action is lighter, but you can also do some of those things with just the 2-spring kit. And I think that kit's like $10. It's not expensive. Let's see here. Let me try to catch back up. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. I haven't seen any guns like your specialty guns. IBG, I really like to make my guns my own. You probably won't see any like mine. I don't really copy other people. I tend to do what I want to do, and I've already had 2 of my guns copied by Fire for Effect. So I guess people were liking what I did, so they asked for the Big Johnson Guns and Gear copy, and I thought that was kind of cool and kind of flattering. So I appreciate it very much. But I just like doing guns the way I want them done. I've kind of got a little vision in my head, and a lot of these guys make it come true. So I'm really excited about this one that you're going to see on Friday, because it's going to blow you away. It's very unique, and a lot of people probably would never think to do this. So that's about as much hint as I can give. But it's not a gun like you've ever seen before. You've seen the gun. It's one of my guns. So y'all have seen the gun. You just haven't seen what it's going to look like. Yeah, here's Roman. Yeah, he saw the video that I did with my friend. Yeah, that was 7-Up. And he had done the Pro package in his P07. And we did a comparison, and we also did trigger pulls on that video. And it did help a little bit in the double action. Single action, it was pretty close. And then we did another video where I was shooting both of them, so I could compare my shooting both guns at the same exact time. And there's another video out there where it shows the groups and everything and the distance. And I think I shot a 10-round group with both, and I think I might have been at 10 yards. Like I said, the groups look like I could take a picture of both of them. I mean, that's how close they were. So, but that's just me. I mean, if you went out and did the same thing, it could be totally different for you. Dennis B, thinking about going back to the 320 only because of the removal trigger group, and it's getting harder and harder to buy pistols in New York. Any thoughts? I have said that exact same statement on one of our chats way back when. I said if you're in a state where you can only have so many guns, the P320 makes so much sense, because you can have one trigger group and you can have different modules. Like you could have a compact, a subcompact, a full size, and you can move your trigger group into each one of those, and you can just buy $35 frames. So if you're in one of those states, I think that's an awesome thing to do. But it's if you like SIG. I mean, if you like the 320, then I say do it. If you don't, then maybe consider getting rid of some of the guns that you don't care for, and just really getting guns that you do like. And, if you can only have less, because, like some states that can only have like 3 guns. I say buy a SIG and then buy 8 different frame, or whatever you want to buy, 3 different frames, and then buy 2 other guns. So yes, moving them around is definitely a good thing. Thanks, Ranger 10. I appreciate you. He is saying 74 people on the chat. Hit that like button. Yes, we appreciate the like button. Yes, you can sand them. You can do the 25-cent trigger job on your Glock triggers. I've done the 25-cent trigger job personally on all of mine, plus put the Apex parts in them, and I love them. So it definitely does improve them. Yeah, Dave Gash, you're really going to love the new creation. It's awesome. Yep. Dennis is talking about changing the hammer spring and the firing pin spring. That's what I was talking about. And the plunger spring, and it made the difference. Yeah, you can do that. Okay. I can trade my P07 for a CZ75 convertible. Okay, so that's a CZ75 Omega. The double action, single action decocker. I don't conceal carry either one of those. Thoughts. If you could trade a P07 for the 75 Omega, I say do it, because it's a more expensive gun. It's a steel frame. It's heavier, and if you're not going to conceal carry either one of them, then that would even better. The steel frame would be a better target pistol. So That's my opinion. And it's a bigger pistol, so you might be able to grip it better and shoot it better, but it's going to be up to you. Will you sell me your hair, Big Johnson? No, Dave, my hair's not for sale now. I have gotten haircuts, and I have sent 17 and other people pictures of the hair that was on the floor, and I told them that I would donate it to them. I've done that numerous times as a joke. I know you're a fan of lock grips, but they don't make any for the P10C or F. Do you have any recommendations on finding the front and the back texture too aggressive? Okay, now I love an aggressive grip. So if you're finding them too aggressive, you can get sandpaper pistol grips. It's the kind that you wrap around and you heat up with a hairdryer. And they have textures that are a rubberized texture, and you can put it right over it and heat it up, and it'll kind of mold to it. And they have the rubberized texture, so it covers up the aggressive texture. You can do it that way. Or you can get the rubber grip sleeve. I wouldn't recommend it, but I've seen them. But if you get it stuck on your shirt or something with a draw, it's not good. So, but they have the little grip sleeves. You could stretch one out and try to stick it over it. But I would recommend the sandpaper pistol grips, and he has the rubberized texture, and they're very soft on your hands. I prefer a really aggressive grip. That's just me. And by the way, I have talked to Lock Grips about coming out with a version that he could put on a polymer pistol. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know how they would permanently stay on there. We've thought about that. Yeah, like a Talon grip. I have had some Talon grips peel off on me, and I've even put them on the correct way. This was the older version, way back when they first came out. And I think their glue was not as good as it is now. But that was way back. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's see where we are here. Well, we're getting close. So tune in Friday for the Vulcan Machine Works unveiling. I think that was all the question. Well, I still have a couple, but all right, we're getting ready to close this bad boy out. Any more questions that y'all can come up with, or anything that you would love me to answer? I'd be glad to. We'll go ahead and do it for about 5 more minutes. If there's anything else y'all can think about. I want to make sure all of the comments are coming up. Yeah, Ranger, this one's going to be pretty cool. Like I said, it's completely out of the box. Now, not saying my other ones that I've done aren't awesome. They are. I love, Fire for Effect and all those guys. They've done fantastic work. This one's just different. And it's something that a lot of people would never think to do, but it can be done. And this one's done. So it's going to be pretty sweet. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate it. Thanks, Dennis B. Rough Turbo 997. I appreciate it. Slip-on grips. Yeah, Dan, the only thing that I have found about the slip-on grips, thank you, sir, and, the grip sleeves that you put on, what can happen is when you appendix carry or you can carry, sometimes the rubber, it's pretty sticky, so it can get hung on your shirt or it can get hung on your skin. That's the only thing I've ever had problems with. I've tried them way back in the past, and that was just personal experience. So if they work for you, use them, man. All right. Unfortunately, flanks, I have done some AR uppers and lowers and stuff like that put together, but we can't show those on the channel anymore. So they won't let us do that anymore. We can't do builds. But you can go on, I've got videos on them. And if you follow me on Instagram, I show a lot of parts that I'm getting. So if you haven't checked me out on Instagram, please do. Because there's a lot of stuff I do on Instagram that I don't even put on YouTube. So I do a lot of sneak peek stuff I'm testing. I have got 3 items right now that I've been, actually 4 items that I've been testing. And 3 of them are making the grade. The 4th one is not. So we'll find out what that's going to be. And I show the good with the bad. So I don't hide anything. But yeah, if you want to tune in for that, check me out on Instagram. And also, if you ever want to get a hold of me or have a question, and I have a lot of people do, hit me up on Instagram. Just shoot me a DM, and I'll answer it as quick as I can. I get a lot of people that ask questions on that, and I try to answer them. So try to keep everyone, if they need an opinion, I'll definitely give you one. Sometimes it's not the one you want to hear, but might not agree with yours, but I'm honest with my opinions. Thank you, Two Willing Nut. I appreciate it. Hey, Channel Cat Chaser, what's up, man? I appreciate you showing up, and you can catch it in the rewind. Yeah, Ranger's asking me about the AR build. That's what I was saying. YouTube won't let us show any builds anymore or anything like that. So they just kind of let us show it after the fact. So, oh, awesome. Bull Shadow 2? Yeah, that's awesome, man. Havoc, you'll enjoy that. I have not shot one. I've seen them. Actually played with them in a store, and they're really nice. I just have not shot one personally. Hey, congratulations, Jeff, trying a dot for the first time on a Glock 19. Hope you enjoy it, man. And don't expect, if I can give you any word of advice, when you have a dot on your pistol, do not look at the dot. Do not look at the dot. Look through the window at your target and let the dot get in the way. So don't stare at your dot. If you stare at your dot and try to shoot, you'll shoot like crap and you will hate the dot. So look through the window and let your dot go over your target and then pull your shot, pull the trigger. So that will make it a lot more fun. Yeah, the Shield mags for the Glock 43 and 48, I think that's awesome. I got some buddies that have them and they're testing them, or been testing them, and so far so good. Appreciate the conversation and help, Big J, and are very helpful folks on the chat. Hey, that's what we try to do, is answer the questions. Some people just have chats and just babble on about stuff amongst themselves. We try to answer questions and talk about good topics, and you all make it all happen. So, all right, Meathead, my son is building his first AR. That's awesome. Thanks, Wheeled and Well Armed. Appreciate it so much. Any CZ or any 1911s in your collection? Yes, I have 1911s. I've got them on Instagram if you want to see them. I think I have four. No, I have 3 1911s. 4 1911s. I have 4 1911s. And yes, I do like the 1911s. So, yeah, Meat Cranium. What's my feeling on the attack of the 2A? Aren't these policies invalid according to the Constitution? Yeah, if you joined in, I know you've been on the chat for a little while, but I talked about that at the first. I think anything against the 2A is an infringement upon us, and it should not be tolerated. My opinion is you've got other shit to worry about. You've got budgets that are out of whack. You've got states that are in the hole. California, et cetera, New York. San Francisco, all that, they're toilets. And you need to worry about your own damn cities and not be messing with our rights. And it's bull crap, period. And I tell you what, when it comes down to it, what they're going to do is create another war. That's what's going to happen. And there's going to be blood on people's hands. So. All right. Hey, Ranger, I appreciate it. You got on Instagram just for me. No, I appreciate that very much. Like I said, I enjoy Instagram. I put a lot of pictures up there. Sometimes it's just weird stuff that I just see throughout the day, and I throw it up. I've even got some tricked out trucks and stuff on there. I put out a Shelby Raptor. It's a Raptor that's been converted by Shelby. I think it's 600 horsepower. I throw stuff up like that too, just in case people haven't seen stuff like that. But we'll go ahead and shut this down. It's about 8:05, and I said I'd go 5 minutes over. I started 5 minutes early and went 5 minutes over. So we will go ahead and shut this down. If you have any more questions, you can leave them after the chat. and I will try to answer them. I appreciate y'all so much as always. Sub to everyone on here. I know there's a lot of great channels on here, so definitely sub to everyone. This is a group of people that are like-minded, and that's what we want. We want to bring more people to our side, so we want to influence and do what we can to do our part to make people know that guns are good. There are bad people with guns, but there are a lot of damn good people that carry guns every day and would protect not only myself and my own family, but could protect them who don't want to carry a gun. We could protect them and their families and save lives. So that's what needs to be preached. So we don't have armed security guards, and we don't have Chuck Norris under one arm and a ninja under the other. We have ourselves, and we have the right to protect ourselves and our families. So I appreciate y'all so much. If you have any questions, leave them. And remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on.